Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30 this Tuesday, September 20, or Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Tuesday, September 23rd. Tuesday. I'm thinking Wednesday for some reason. And I'm starting to scare myself. Anyway, Tuesday, September 23rd, and the market is taking a breather, I have to say. A weakness going into the afternoon, not a great sign. Not a lot of strength showing up here after the little sell-off, and I would say that most likely this is Powell stepping in it. So we had everything was looking pretty freaking good until that 12:35, right about here, 12:35, that little rotation right there. That's Powell starting to speak, say stuff, and here you go, boom, straight down. So Wednesday that is, it's coming. Yeah, I know it's coming. I thought it was. I thought I was on it. I was hoping there for a second, but no. No, so it's so Powell's started speaking. The market's reaction was shitty. He probably said something to the effect like, "Yeah, we're gonna just be restrictive and be uncooperative and so on and so forth." So there you go. So in other words, he threw cold water on this whole party, and the market retraced pretty much the whole yesterday's whole move. We are right back to this little high volume area right now. So no extensions today in the market. So the move out of the middle is right now technically entering stage two. And now we're going to see how much more weakness we get in terms of finding a spot to cut off the selling. So going into the overnight, the way it looks right now, unless we get a nice little retracement trade, which could certainly happen, I'm going to start off range bound with a bias to the downside. I'm going to look for more weakness, see if they can take this lower, especially looking at that low volume area at 66.80 and also that 66.70 high volume area. So 66.70 and 80, you can see it right here. It's 80 and then 70 is your attractor. If both of them comes out, I think we may see even more of a pullback. But we'll see how serious this is going to get. But the market did not like what Powell had to say. And we just retraced the whole Monday rally. So starting off range bound, keep looking for early weakness, looking to sell strength at this point against that single print at 67.15. At these single prints up to that 67.30. If they trade up above the 67.30 before they close, I'm back on the long side of it again. So these two resistance areas, if they come out before they close, we are back on the long side. If not, we are range bound looking for to sell strength for rotations back down again. So that's how we get started. Now this area 67, 67.05 is a small high volume area, same as the 66.70s. So we could technically stay here and go sideways, or we can keep going. So we'll see how weak it's going to get, but that's how we're going to get started in the overnight. No trades on the ES for me today. I did a couple of NASDAQ trades. I'll show you those now. Um, and the first one was early on here. That's before the Powell speech. The nice rotation down. It probed below here below these lows in the support area, and worth a shot for a long trade. And it did not work out. I got shaken out. Actually, I had a pretty good move going there for a second, but the Powell kept in, and the volatility just shook me out of that trade. I tried one more long trade here when it's that triple fourth time to the level when it looks like they were gonna potentially snap back. And this one I was really snappy on because it's you're either gonna work or not. So as they I got a little bit of lift, I figured okay, no, suddenly I got a little bit of heat. I figured okay, this is not working. So I just got out of that trade when I had a shot, and I got the shot, so I just took it instead of sitting through it. And I'm glad I did because then this is nothing you can hold on to. So a big move to the downside there. And now you can see how it's just going sideways. They took it all the way down here to the 24,780s. And we are right back down, reversing NASDAQ as well, right back to that high volume area. So NASDAQ also back in stage two. Let's see if they're going to try to push this further to the downside, especially on the NASDAQ. I would watch that 24,700 level, that volume edge here. If that comes out, we can certainly see a rotation all the way down to 24.5 pretty quick. So let's see how weak it's going to get. Right now, though, they're holding they're holding the line. Doesn't mean that's going to be able to hold this going into the close. I'm not seeing any lift. I'm not seeing any selling, but watch that getting closer to that 1245 to 1250 or 345 to 350. That's when you may see a move happening here. But technically we are back down again, and I would start range bound with a bias to the downside. If they close above that 24 920s, 930s, this guy here, I would be back on the long side. But had to close below that, close above this area, 900 to 920s here, before I start thinking that the long side again. So they're going to sell strength against that the 840s, against the 880s, up to that level, the 920, 915 to 20s. Rotations down again. And let's see if they're going to say bargain hunt, or if you're going to see further weakness on this one. Could go either way. It's hard to say. This is just coming to balance right now, so we'll see if they're going to stay here or if they're going to see a little bit of snapback going on. On the bond market, just trading back up a bit. So they are retracing to the upside. They're up here testing the 24s. And so far, they have not taken it out. So starting off range bound at this point. I'm not going to start with a bias to the downside. It looks to me like they're trying to take it higher. So starting off flat out range bound, looking to sell strength at the 24s and at the 117s. They're going to buy weakness down to 1610, 1606, down to the 16s for rotations up again. So that's the bond market. I have not traded the bond market. I only took 2 trades on the Nasdaq. One was a small shakeout and one was a small winner. So it's like 250, so 2 contracts. It's pretty much nothing. But then again, yeah, I mean, I had the wherewithal not to try to overtrade it. I didn't want to chase it on the way down. I kind of watching it in disbelief, like running away from it. And then this opportunity right there, the little snapback, I was tempted to it, but that's like, it's just way too volatile, and it can easily go another 50 points higher before it fails. So this is not easy to trade. You can try it if you if you're willing to fade some heat, and you really have to have your stop on the outside of that rotation, prior rotation. That would have been basically 870 up to the 910, so almost 50 points. That's twice my stop size. That's over 200 ticks. That's too much. Then finally, oil and gold. So gold, nice move to the upside in the overnight. They are down here now. Finally, weakness in the afternoon. They're down here testing that London low and has not taken it out. So buying weakness late in the session, and nothing I would recommend. I would be looking for short setups at that point, but so far they have retraced those single prints. We thought they could do that, but that setup was not by any means an easy one. So I don't see that how you could get on that thing, because most of it retraced already early on. Then late in the session, you got this last one move to the downside. So you can see it's like move, nothing, 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 big move, then nothing. So when it trades like that, it's just difficult. It's just very difficult to trade it. I haven't done anything on gold, but as long as you hold above that 38, 37.80s, the London low, I'm gonna stay on the long side of this. And oil, that's going sideways. They basically run out of gas, pardon the pun. Yeah, back to value and going sideways. So starting off range bound on oil, they're going to sell 63.80s, 64.20s. They're going to buy weakness, probably against the 63.20s down to that 62.80 to 90s for rotations up again. So pretty tight range. We are back to value when it comes to oil. So that's oil and gold. So back to the ES, and then basically at this point I'm watching it carefully. It could be a late day trade here setting up. I just have to see if they're going to be a bargain hunt setting up, or if it's going to be a sell-off. Technically, I would be probably more leaning towards a selling, that they're going to try to take it lower, but it could go either way. So I'm just watching it right now and see if we get some directional move. But trading late in the session like this is going to be either go or no go. It's not going to be like you get in and start to trade it. You get one shot at it. If it doesn't work, don't do anything. Just stay out of it. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. I'll see you back bright and early tomorrow. We'll go at it again on a Wednesday. So new mortgage apps tomorrow, new home sales, oil report. Not much news to drive the market tomorrow at all. You get more news on Thursday and Friday though. All right, guys. See you in the morning.